this underdog mentality, maybe the seeds were planted at the very beginning, because I guess from what I've gathered talking to fellow Mainer Riley Masters is that he said you're probably one of the best, actually I think he said the best athlete to come out of Maine, where you have, I guess, the state record from the 200 all the way through the 800. But what was the initial starting point to you finding this sport that you happen to be really good at?
Yeah. Well, if we go way, way back to elementary school days, it was kind of a thing that, I feel like every kid kind of just gets into sports. It's, it tires the kids out. It's easier for the parents. So I started doing track kind of for those reasons with my brother and sister. We had a very close, like, family friend, kind of my godfather, who's since passed away, but he was a runner his whole life. And he woke up at 4:30 every morning and would go run. Everyone kind of thought he was crazy for it. It's kind of funny looking back because now I respect that a lot. But he was a big player in getting us to do summer track, and I feel like maybe he saw potential. I don't know, but he would give us rides to practice. Buy shoes for me, my brother, my sister, even other local kids from the area. He was kind of the guy that just kind of selflessly did stuff for other people. So he was a big reason I got into track. I think I took a couple years off to play baseball, and he was a reason that I got back into it. In high school, okay, actually, I skipped over something. I played football freshman year of high school instead of doing cross country. So one of the big reasons I went back to cross country was he was like, "Oh, I'll help you get a car," which at the time was like, all right, I need something. I'm about to get my license. So he convinced me to do cross country, and I ended up doing pretty well. The team was okay. I think he, like I said, he saw the potential in my running ability, and then went on to play basketball in the winter, and then started back doing outdoor track my sophomore year of high school, and just ended up doing a lot better than I expected. I won states that year. And after that race, I think it was a University of Maine coach came up to me and was just like, "When you're ready, if you want to come to the University of Maine, you'll have a full scholarship." And that was kind of the first time where I've really thought about going to college and, I don't know, doing a sport in college. So to me, that was all right, I'm going to double down on this and kind of focus on running a little bit more and try a little bit harder. And junior year, just dropped my times, and then the letters started coming in from colleges, and that was super exciting because, again, it wasn't something I really was thinking too much about at the time. So to have that opportunity out front of me was very exciting. So yeah, and then senior year just continued on, kept running a little bit faster. I wanted to break 150 in the 800 and ended up doing that my very last race, and went on to Penn State, and from there it's history.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Lewiston, Maine, and kind of just paint the picture for what it was like, I guess, growing up in that area?
Yeah. Lewiston's an interesting town. It's an old mill town that, since the mills shut down, hasn't really had any other life or any other opportunities. We got a lot of immigrants and refugees from Somalia who settled in our town, and that's big part of our community. And I think that's really cool. So it's a very interesting town. It's not like the rest of Maine. People have this idea of Maine, and if you come to Lewiston, I feel like that would change your perspective of Maine. In high school, I had a coach come visit my high school, and he was just like, "This is the most diverse place I've ever been." And this was a college coach. My high school was very, very diverse. We had people from every country, and I think growing up in that aspect was really cool. It's really, it opens your eyes. It's kind of you get experience into the real world, which I feel like a lot of people don't normally get that. But the town itself, it's, like I said, there's not a lot of jobs. It's a pretty poor area. I was in that category, kind of just, my dad raised 3 kids by himself, and bounced around from job to job, minimum wage jobs. We moved around a lot and just not very ideal situation. So not the best place, but like looking back, I'm like super happy that I got to experience that, because I really feel like that's kind of what gives me the edge on people and kind of like sparks that underdog mentality within me, every day and every practice, every race. I just go into it with the mentality of like, all right, this is where you've come from, like, and I know where I want to go. This is an opportunity you have. Make the most of it.
Are you still connected with the town and like, with people there? Do you visit at all?
Yeah. I mean, I just spent 4 months back home in Lewiston, which was the longest time I'd been home since I left for college. But, I always went back during breaks and summer and everything. I'm very close with my high school athletic director. Just a lot of people throughout the town. When I go back, I try to help out in any way I can, whether it's, speaking at an elementary school or spoke at the Y, showing up to like some of the summer track practices, just doing whatever I can to try to instill some hope into people, show the kids like, it doesn't matter where you've come from, like you can get to where you want to be. Just have goals. It's important to have goals and be hopeful. So I definitely think I'm still pretty connected, and I'd like to stay that way and try to do whatever I can to give back to the community.
Yeah, it's interesting because I remember a couple years back when Dave Ribich signed his Brooks deal. I think very soon after, I think one of the stipulations or whatever he pushed forward was for his high school team to just get kitted out in Brooks, because I guess he just wanted everyone to be on the same page, same team, and so. And Brooks did it. They offered up the support. Is there anything like that? I think that you hope to try and do now. I guess like you've got this new contract with them.
Yeah, and that was something I pushed for as well. I didn't really know they had that at the time, but I kind of was talking to Julie, and she was like, "What are some of the things that you care about outside of the sport?" I told her, I really wanted to give back to my community in any way, and she told me about the Booster Club program that Brooks has, and I think it's an amazing program, and it's a big selling point for me. They donate X amount of dollars per year for the athletic programs to buy gear, shoes, whatever they need to be successful. And when I told my athletic director about that, he was like in tears. He thought it was amazing. He's like, I don't care how much it is. Like the fact that you even thought about us and like want to do that like means so much. So to me, that's like Brooks as a company. That's kind of like, their logo or their saying is run happy. And I feel like they fully embrace that. It's not about just what you're doing on the track. What you do off the track is just as important. I think if you look at everyone on the team, everyone, is kind of the same way. Everyone cares about their communities. They do what they can to help. And it's very good vibes here. And that's what I appreciate a lot.
How disappointed do you think Maine was for losing you, I guess, to leave and go out to Penn State? Or was it close, I guess, in the decision-making process?
I don't know, not really. I mean, I kind of wanted to get out of Maine anyways. It's such a small state, we don't have any pro sports teams, we don't have much going on. So I really wanted to experience that like bigger feel, and Penn State kind of provided that with like the football team, the basketball team. Everything was like, such big scale compared to what I was used to. And then on top of that, the academics like are very great. So I don't think it was ever close. I think my final two schools were Georgetown and Penn State. I don't think the University of Maine coach really was too upset. I don't think he really expected me to go there. It's just a smaller program. No offense. I think they're doing things great over there, but yeah, I think they were more so excited for me than bummed that I left.